We've discussed some heavy stuff related to animal rescue efforts in this series up until now, from overcrowded shelters to how human poverty and pet poverty go hand in hand. It's important to talk about these different aspects of the problems faced in animal rescue work, but I believe it's just as important to talk about promising ideas that seem to be working. In the book Switch, How to Change Things When Change is Hard, authors Chip and Dan Heath call these promising ideas bright spots, and they play a huge role in making a dent in major societal problems. Why? Because once people can see that change is actually possible through these promising solutions, even on a small scale, they are inspired to invest in and participate in larger efforts. That's why in this episode of Changemaker Cafe, our animal rescue series, we'll hear stories about promising solutions in animal rescue, innovative or impactful initiatives that are making a real difference. Then we'll talk about what we can learn from each to apply to our own communities. Miss our other episodes? You can always catch up on the rest on our channel and other social impact topics too. As always, download our series action guide for resources and tips to tackle these issues in your community, whether you're aiming to start a nonprofit or a socially conscious business, start serving as a board member for a nonprofit or as a volunteer, raising funds or awareness, or any other ways you can make an impact, all at changemakercafe.com. Thank you once again to Click and Pledge for sponsoring this series. Ready? Let's get curious. Millions of companion animals go without homes, food, and care each year, but there are amazing changemakers out there trying to change that. So, what's working? And also, what can we learn about these promising solutions to take back to our own communities? Let's take a look. One of the earliest examples of a prison cats program came out of the Monroe Correctional Complex in Washington State in 2006. Pilot tested by the nonprofit Perfect Pals, the program was aimed at solving a unique problem that they were facing. Not enough people were fostering their semi-feral or very shy cats. So they teamed up with the Monroe Correctional Complex to try something new, placing cats in prisons for shelter and care. But after placing cats in the prison for foster care, Perfect Pals discovered that the program was addressing another problem too. It was providing opportunities for rehabilitation for the prison's inmates. Charged with the care, socialization, and feeding of the cats, inmates started showing their softer side.
And they're brought here for us to rehabilitate them as well as we're rehabilitating ourselves. You know, it's a dual thing. Like, I come in here, I'm incarcerated. I start off with 40 years, and I come in here and, I was lost. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was kind of like in depression. Started volunteering, helping Miss Reinhardt on cleaning. And she gave me a job.
After 2006, more and more programs placing pets, often cats, but sometimes dogs, in prison environments sprouted up across the United States. Like this one in Larch Corrections Center, or this program pairing cats and dogs with inmates in Georgia, or this initiative in Allendale Prison in South Carolina that was even featured on Animal Planet. It wasn't long before results started pouring in for prison cats programs, with Alley Cat Allies reporting that these initiatives were drastically increasing inmate work ethic, building relationship skills, and reducing stress across the prison. Programs like these sparked inspiration for animal rescue advocates across the country, who saw a lot of potential in using unique socialization, training, and care environments to help animals get adopted. After all, with more positive exposure to and time with humans, they are shown to be adopted at higher rates. In Indianapolis, one organization, Paws and Think, is taking the notion of pairing pets with humans in need even further.
The mission of Paws and Think is to improve the lives through the power of the human dog connection. My role as executive director is to help ensure that our programs create meaningful impacts by connecting therapy dogs to those in the community that could use the additional connection. So throughout our youth canine program, our shelter dogs are in the program for about a week. And we currently have a program in the Juvenile Detention Center here in Indianapolis where we partner. So we pair young people with our dogs. And the young people are really learning how to train the dogs. They're learning about their basic commands. So the dogs love it, right? Because they're getting high reward treats. They're getting a lot of love throughout the week. So it's really just a great way to pair some of the young people who can need that connection and attention and love as well. They're pairing with those dogs that can really use the same thing. We do a lot of just teaching them how to be in a space with people, right? And just giving them that love and attention. So when they go back to the shelter, we can market them and tell the community that they've been trained by young people through our Paws and Think program.
The work of Paws and Think has another impact on animal rescue efforts, changing the perceptions of shelter dogs.
So we had a little pitty mix named Liza who graduated the program. One of our volunteers from Paws and Think fell in love with Liza, of course, throughout the program and ended up adopting Liza. Liza became a therapy dog with Paws and Think, and it was really cool to see that connection between Liza and her handler, Wendy. But Liza became a registered therapy dog, and they tried out a few different venues, a few different places to volunteer, but it was cute because Liza, the only place she really seemed to light up, and she really loved going back to the Juvenile Detention Center to help and to be with the young people that had inevitably trained her. So it really just shows that ripple change of effect, one for Liza's life. So she, came from the shelter to becoming a therapy dog and really just spending time with a lot of the young people that had trained her was really cool. So just really helps to show that impact and the benefit of, any dog can become a therapy dog.
In the social impact world, programs like these are examples of what we call social innovation. Social innovators sometimes try to solve a problem in the world by thinking about how to connect two or more seemingly unrelated things or concepts. In this case, cats or dogs, and prisons or schools or hospitals. We see social innovators matching unrelated concepts to tackle other types of social issues too, like using boxing classes to help kids build real-life skills, or this program in Amsterdam using bikes to transport important medicines in cities or areas inaccessible to other vehicles. I'm curious, what two unrelated concepts would you bring together to come up with a creative solution for social change? Share your thoughts in the comments. There's no shortage of promising solutions being developed, tested, and scaled to make a dent in the challenges of animal rescue work. Like the story of Stephen Knight, 2024 CNN Hero of the Year, whose organization Dogs Matter helps humans recovering from addiction by providing no-cost temporary foster care for their pets, so they can feel reassured that they'll be safe when they seek help. Or the Dogs Day Out program by VCA Charities in California, which pairs adoptable dogs with volunteers for a day of fun out of the shelter, because even one day out of the shelter can reduce kennel stress and increase an animal's chances of getting adopted by 10 times. Or at this microchip scanning station being tested in Alamance County, North Carolina, which will allow people to scan animals for microchips to reunite them with their families faster, keeping them out of the shelter. Or efforts in numerous cities across the country to bring together animal rescue leaders, nonprofits, government officials, and businesses so they can work effectively together to find ways to reduce pet homelessness. What ideas will come next? You tell me. It's time for our Changemaker Challenge. Once again, here's how to participate. Jump down into the comments, brainstorm, and share your thoughts on these examples of promising solutions in animal rescue and how you might bring lessons from each to your city. Get those in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. In the next video in our animal rescue series, we'll walk through some things you might want to know if you're thinking of starting an animal rescue organization. One more thing before we go. A sincere thank you to our sponsor making this series possible, Click and Pledge. Click and Pledge is a comprehensive fundraising platform for nonprofits ready to fundraise and significantly grow their impacts. Their robust fundraising features include donation forms, in-person fundraising for events, text to give, peer-to-peer fundraising so you can send your supporters out to form teams and raise money for your cause, video fundraising with donation links embedded directly in your videos, donor outreach tools to improve donor retention, a complete Salesforce integration, and a lot more that I can't fit in this video. Some platforms charge more based on your organization's size or the size of your donor pool, but not Click and Pledge. The pricing is going to stay the same even as your donor list increases. There are no contracts, and all of their solutions are included at no extra cost. You can learn more about Click and Pledge's fundraising solutions and get your first month free using the links below this video. Go ahead and get in contact with their amazing team to ask all your questions or schedule a demo. Or if you're ready, sign up and give it a try now. You can find the link to your free month or the link to reach out to the team below this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you for the next episode of Changemaker Cafe.